All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia. It is Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. Glad to be with you this morning and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. That starts with you clicking that button, subscribe, and then turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos, excuse me. Appreciate you being here this morning, joining me. Dow futures are actually up 32 points. Nasdaq is down 3, bouncing a bit. We're going to take a look at a couple of charts this morning. S&P 500 futures are green, and the Russell is up 0.26%. 10-year Treasury yields pulling back. We talked about how we expect Treasury yields to start pulling back now, and that's going to be a nice tailwind for equity. So I kind of went into more detail on the weekly video on Sunday. So if you want to take a look at that video, it is on our channel. Dollar index is up 0.07% at 105.12. We still need 105 to break, guys. That's going to be the real kind of rocket fuel to get us higher. I'm taking a look at possibly 5,300 on the S&P as our next resistance. Again, I will talk about that here in a second. The VIX is down this morning, 1345. Crude oil is pulling back 0.70%. Again, that's the dollar. Commodities are starting to pull back. $2.55 for gasoline futures, down 1%, 1.2, excuse me. Gold, kind of a risk off sentiment here with Russell being higher. So gold taking a step back, 23.24, down 0.29%. Silver futures are flat, 27.60. Copper, again, important to me because of FCX, $4.59. That's down 0.49%. Euro dollar, that's up 6 pips. Aussie dollar didn't break my alert for more upside. They did not do anything in terms of raising rates or anything. So unchanged. That was overnight. Dollar yen is up 45 pips, 154.37, 136.74 for dollar Canadian dollar, relatively flat. Bitcoin is up 64,000 currently, up 0.70%, and 3,090 for Ethereum. Good morning, everybody. We did have some earnings. As you know, Palantir reported they beat on the top and bottom line. Disney also reported. I have it here on my iPad as I'm looking. You see, Disney beat EPS expectations of $1.21 against $1.10, 22 billion versus the expectation of 22.12 billion. It was actually about like $40 million miss in terms of revenue. So let's take a look at that first. That was Disney. Then Palantir was yesterday. That was a beat. So they're actually having the conference call right now. I obviously can't listen to the headlines as I'm doing the video here, but 106.04, that's an alert that I've had. So let's take a look and see if we can break down below that. That is right near the 100-day. So we need to see if we can break actually below that. Let's go and place it a little slightly below and see if we can get this gap fill here at 99. So again, no need to rush here, but now we got the actual movement. Hey, if this actually bounces a little bit, we may get a chance to actually play long. So right now, like I said, Disney in terms of earnings this week, I was rather neutral. I had no idea which way we could go because it could have gone either way, and Disney pulled back. So at least now we know we have some kind of direction, starting to bounce a little bit off that support. So again, 105.45, that's your 100-day moving average. If that does break, you have an earnings gap from January to fill right at 99, and that would be a decent dip buy for longs. Next is actually, let's go back here to Palantir. And Palantir actually had a great call. So this price action, I mean, remember the stock was up 8% before the earnings. So a little bit of a run up. So again, I didn't trade this at all. Had a lot of questions regarding it. I said, same thing, just wait. Just wait on this. So again, 22.33, not much to do here, to be quite honest. If we can get back 24, then I would like to go long to 26. That was the last place that we wicked. For more downside action, again, like a gap fill that we have on Disney, 1977 will be the level I'm looking for there. So let's go ahead and pivot to the S&P 500 futures. We did finally break above that 50-day, like we talked about. So let me go remove this little box here. All right, above the 50-day, now we're looking at, okay, what's next? We did break out of this downward channel. No major gaps to fill, at least on S&P 500 futures. We'll remove this. We'll use the 50-day now. Previous resistance becomes support. So 51.76, kind of for the time being, will be our short-term support. As we're looking for additional upside, what exactly are we looking for? We need this bad boy right here to get below 105. And if we do, I'm looking at 5,300 and near all-time highs, like I said, yesterday's video. The only one that seems to be a little bit, we're not sure, or not about not sure, but a little more tricky, let's just say. 18,231. This is NASDAQ futures. We're above the 50-day, but you also have this trend line up here. We need to crack that. Good news is that we cracked that on S&P. Now we need NASDAQ to play ball. Let's see in terms of what's moving pre-market. Let me see if I can get that here. Markets. Let's go to stocks. Again, this is on my iPad, so just bear with me. And then we're going to go ahead and answer some questions. Let's see. Pre-market movers. Let's see if I can get S&P 500. Here we go. Select market, view. Okay, it's totally not opening. Pre-market, Nvidia's down 1%, Tesla's down 1.64%, Apple's up 1.15% this morning. They have an iPad event today. So again, any kind of headlines we'll let you guys know. AMD's down about 0.5%, Meta down 1/4 point, Amazon relatively flat, Microsoft down 1/4 point. Super Microcomputer is down 1.11%. Let's see anything that's standing out. Micron is up 0.56% this morning. So those are some of the moves that are happening this morning. Let's get to the questions. Thoughts on Palantir earnings? I thought the earnings were great. Now we have our alerts set for future price action. Let's see what we get there. See if we can get above 24.25. Disney calls. It's again, we pulled back during the conference call. So for us to do anything in terms of Disney for more upside, at least break 113. Levels to add Palantir long term. I know you have the 3-day rule after earnings. It's 3-day rule, not 3-day law. So again, you could do what you guys like. Personally, what I'm looking for is this gap fill here. And I'm crossing my fingers we get there with this great earnings. Again, guidance was good, earnings was good. This is a good thing. But again, there was a lot of front running ahead of the print, 8% move pre-market. Again, doesn't mean the company's bad at all as they've reported, but we're looking at this gap fill here at 1785. XOM update, I'm heavy on those calls and down a lot. Let's take a look at them. XOM, cup and handle, is still in play. That is up pre-market. Again, Exxon Mobil and energy companies are not Tesla. They're not NVIDIA. You can't expect like 8% moves in a day, and they're definitely not Palantir. Again, this is why you buy time. And as of right now, at least on the 4-hour chart, we're above the 20. Let's look at the daily here. Still need to get above 119.26. That's your 20-day moving average. Let's see how we get some price action today. But I need crude oil to move a little higher, and we need the dollar to come lower. 105 still needs to break. But as of right now, at least we got a bounce so far, and the actual setup is intact. And there was some great volume on our options too, the 125s. Let's see. XOM is Tesla, right? I wish. Roblox prior to earnings. Again, I have no idea on what's going to happen in terms of their earnings, but the level you're looking for is 47.03. That would indicate the first level breakout. And as of right now, there is zero edge to trade this Roblox ahead of earnings. The only thing I can see is a possible inverse head and shoulders. So, gun to my head, what do I think is going to happen? I think Roblox will move higher. I like the high betas. So, I think Roblox will go higher. But again, you have to see what the volume is. And again, see what the price action is. If it starts moving up today, maybe we get a crack at it. But, we got to see. we're $7 away from target for a breakout. Plays on BABA. Yeah, I have my alert at 85, 87. I'd rather wait for that gap fill first because there's another one above. So Alibaba has a lot more to prove to me than just one day or one couple of days of price action. That's for sure. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. Oh, it's NQ, not NQ. All right. Oh, so NASDAQ actually turned green. I was looking at TQQ calls. Take a look at this, guys. We got Delta yesterday, mind you. So we're just going to see if we play another trade here. We're right at the 50-day on TQQ. So I'm looking at the 60s, but we may run out of space there. I wanted to fill it yesterday before close, but finally we're starting to get a move on NASDAQ. So I'll keep an eye on it and see what we get there. IWM. IWM starting to move too. Yep, we got that gap fill. Perfect. Right at 2204. Okay, so next we got to look at is really what has volume out there. I highly expect that the 210 calls will have volume. maybe the 208s, but it's really going to be volume based. But I like IWM higher. Yes. That's supportive with lower rates and lower dollar. 100%. Yes, breaking out. Yes, it is. Nikki, we talked about this. Come on, man. We talked. We talked about this. The bounce. Yes, we're moving higher. Good. Everyone thinks the world's going to end. Even better. SPY calls. Let's take a look at it. SPY is about to break out. Let's see the 4-hour chart. Yeah, it's right there. I wanted 518.20. If that does break, we can buy some time and just target the all-time highs at 525, to be quite honest, because I think that's where we're going to go. It won't be a straight shot, but I do think we're pretty much on the cusp of getting back to where we were with a slight correction of 5%. It's really 10% correction, but 5% sneeze. I mean, this is what a bull market looks like. You could throw everything at it all you want, but earnings are still solid. And even with the sentiment and surveys out there being depressed, someone's lying, guys, because stocks are going higher. So who knows? All right, guys, I'll leave it there. Have a great rest of your morning. I will catch the team on the Discord. If you guys want access, make sure to read the bottom scroll for our live market blog. We'll see you there. Have a great rest of your morning. Cheers, all.